guys, I want to share a part of what's going on in my life and in my world. And today, the Lord had me go out and pray for this young man. Here's what's kind of an update, I guess, if you will. Over the last couple of weeks, I really felt the Lord shut down some old paths that I was on, working in marketing, which is a love. I've absolutely loved working with my brother Joshua. And in the couple of weeks, it was like confirmation after confirmation from the Lord on what he was going to be asking me to do. And the Lord is asking me to go and pray for people, basically on the streets. If you want to call that street evangelism, you can call it whatever you want, but he's just asking me to obediently follow him from day to day and ask him to put me in the right places. And so today, what that looked like was I was on a walking path near my home, and so I see this kid, this young gentleman, about 50 yards off, and I hear the Lord say that he is Jacob. And I felt like I was supposed to ask him, like, "Are you Jacob?" That would be really weird. And so then I'm thinking, logically in my mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe I could ask him if he knows of a Jacob. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That'll seem a little less weird. And so I breaks my heart. I pass him and let him go. He walks by me, and I'm like, darn it. Like, I'm a little bit frustrated with myself, so I turn around quick and I'm like, "Hey," and I said it, and he just keeps walking. And then I notice another couple coming, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Okay, and then I let him go, and then the next couple walks by me, and I let them go, and I'm just like, Lord, like, now I'm kind of hurting over my disobedience, and I'll never know what could have happened from it. And I eventually get to where I'm like at the end of the path where I usually turn around and walk back. And I turned around to come back, and all of a sudden I see this riverbed, and it's full of stones, and it's very dry. And it was like, all of a sudden I felt like the Lord was saying, like, this is why I need you to approach, it's a dry riverbed. Like it's so dry. People are so dry. And I saw like hundreds of thousands of stones. Some communities have like these, like, you walk down these paths and there's stones, and it's not like they're full of water. It's not like there's river there. I'm sure they fill up with water if it was raining, like monsoon season, but so it fills up. Anyway, so I am like kind of like feeling grieved, like, okay, God, like, these stones, I get it. Like, you need to water the stones. Like, you need these people to be hydrated in you, saturated in you. And so I'm turning around, right? I've turned around, and I start walking back. I take a picture of these stones. Maybe I'll throw it in this little video here. And I keep walking, and the kid turns around, and he's coming back. And I'm like, Lord, thank you for a second chance. I immediately gave the Lord praise. And I come up to the kid, and I comfortably choose to say, "Do you know a Jacob?" And he says, "No." And I said, can I just ask you a question? I said, because truly what the Lord told me was he had called you Jacob. And I said, and I'm praying, like I'm walking this path, and I've been praying, and like he called you a Jacob. And I said, and Jacob wrestled with God. I said, do you wrestle with God? Like, are you like in questioning about the Lord? And he said, yeah, actually, which surprised me. And then he begins to tell me some of his challenges in his faith and what's happened to him over the last couple of years that has brought about some of these challenges. And then he went on to, we just had a conversation as the Lord was leading me. And then I end up praying for him and asking his name. And his name started with a J, sounded very much like Jacob, and spelled almost like Jacob, but it was a very unique, very, very unique name. And the Lord stopped me for the right person. He put a pause in my day. He sent me out for a reason. So in this season, as the Lord is calling me to do this, to go and to pray for people, to stop people in the middle of their day, and for the Lord to take me places, I feel like that's really, it's been confirmed. Over and over and over, the Lord has confirmed what he's asking me to do. And I'm asking for prayer, and even financially, like, I have been mostly responsible in our household for our kids, for where they go to private school. And in doing that, I still feel like that's something I personally just, I love helping my household in that way, helping my kids in that way. It feels like a little bit of like, kind of like giving. And so that's kind of what I've worked for over the last couple of years in caring for their tuition expenses. And however, if God puts it on your heart to, if you're in Arizona, you can do ACSTO, and you can recommend Hank Labrum for Valley Christian Schools. And if the Lord lays it on your heart to donate directly to me going and doing evangelism and prayer, then I ask you to pray about those things. I ask you to consider that between you and God. Period. Done. I'm not going to continue to hone that home or hit that, over and over, because that's not my heart. That's totally between you and God. But so there's the end of that request. This shift of everything that I've known and done to day-to-day obedience and what that looks like, I've already seen the fruit of it. I mean, I look back over the years and I've seen the fruit of it over and over. But when he walked by me and I missed it, I was so grieved. And I was like, Lord, please give me a second chance. And the Lord was really good. And to entrust me with a word that changed this, a rhema word, to entrust me with a rhema word, to hear the spoken word of the Lord, that he would entrust me to communicate to this kid, and it mattered. He was a freshman in high school, by the way, but it mattered greatly in his life. He's going to make a huge impact in the world because he's going to walk forward with identity. The Lord actually really helped me to see how to pray for him. And he was really needing some identity and to know who the Lord is and that the Lord pursues him. He needed that today for whatever reason. I don't know all the details, but anyway, I'm excited for what the new path looks like, for the Lord to send me places that he's calling me to. Keep me in your prayers. And I encourage you too, that if you feel called to go out, God is looking for ones that will obey him in this, because people do need him. They're asking, they're wrestling, just like this Jacob, who's not a Jacob, but he almost was a Jacob. He was a Jacob today. And the Lord knows. So, okay. Anyway, friends, I'll try to leave a link for Hank's thing that I was talking about if you're in Arizona and you want to donate. And aside from that, anytime you want to send me a Venmo, it's at L Labrum. It's LLABRUM. And we'll just see what God does from there. So he'll use it. Love ya.